Hi folks, I'm Ryan Shanahan with Mountain West Swords Academy and producer of RecSport Education. Hat Closet fully maxed. Today's video comes courtesy of a question from one of our viewers, Marion Ingram, who asks, what can I do when I'm not at the school to practice fencing? Well, Marion, that's a good question. Let's take a minute and look at some things that you can do to practice Olympic fencing when you don't have a partner and you're not at the school. Now, the first thing, when you're practicing by yourself, you don't need a lot of space for it. In fact, there's some basic exercises that you probably already do in your school, or some variations of them that you can do at home. So all you're going to need for this drill is your blade and a glove. It doesn't matter which blade you're using. We're going to start in your on-guard position. Extend your arm, and you're going to circle your hand in a counterclockwise direction, making very tiny circles, as tiny as you can. If you can pick a spot on the wall at the distance, that's best. And just circle this for about 30 seconds. Rest your hand, and then repeat going the opposite direction. This will tone your arm and strengthen your wrist. Make sure that your thumb knuckle is facing up, however. If I'm starting to turn my wrist, like so, and doing those circles, I'm engaging different muscle groups. You're cheating. So make sure you keep your thumb facing up. Of course, anytime you're practicing on your own, you should be considering your conditioning level. This is something you should be practicing all the time. And it doesn't matter if you're getting a lot of exercise in class, you definitely need to take the time to do it on your own. You can refer to our conditioning video where I give you a bunch of different exercises you can practice at home. And definitely check that out and spend your time working on those exercises. But I hear you saying, Ryan, we need some blade work. We need some footwork drills. What do we do about that when we're by ourselves? Well, all you're gonna need for this next series of drills is a bag of tennis balls. Throwing a ball against the wall is a simple place to start. This exercise will work coordination on both arms. I'm limited here because of the camera, so you might try starting further back. Practice lunging towards the ball and hitting it as close to the tip as possible. All you're going to need for this next exercise is a cardboard box. Practice lunging into the box and feeling the bend in the blade. You should be able to hit the box without going through it. That's not the point of this exercise. If you do start making significant dents in the cardboard, you're hitting it too hard. The equivalent would be blasting your opponent during a match. This demonstrates a lack of control. There should be an action of slightly lifting the wrist as you make your touch to help facilitate the bend in the blade. This is kinder to your opponents and will leave less bruising. Start close up to get a feel for the exercise. Later on, move back so that you can practice your advance and lunge, again, without puncturing the box. There is always room for fun and creativity, so if you ever get bored, maybe try inventing your own exercise. There you go. Spider guts around it, Sarah. Give this a try. Throw and duck under the ball and follow it up with a lunge. You might try a duck and parry 5 position followed with an advanced lunge, using the same technique we used on the box before. Now, in the case that you don't have a friend, you can always make one. Boxes work just as well. Now, you may not have a lot of space to work with. That's okay too.
you can probably find at least one area that has a good 4 meters of length. That's all you need for your starting lines on an Olympic fencing strip. Now, with the help of my friend over here, I can practice getting off my starting line quickly and advancing to my opponent and gauging my distance so that I'm set up for a good lunge. Let's practice this several times.
Of course, anytime you have to practice something like fencing by yourself, you may need some good motivation to get you started. Of course, I always suggest starting with a healthy meal and having a good diet overall. But when in doubt, you can always go for one of your favorite energy drinks. Now, it might also be worth spending some time practicing your taunts and fencing banter. Is that your face? I thought it was your backside. So, you think you're going to exterminate me? Being around you, I prefer to be fumigated. So, you think killing me is justifiable homicide? Well, killing you must be justifiable fungicide.
Using any kind of target, you can simulate a variety of situations and practice many techniques you've learned from your coach. Here are a few you can use as an example, using parry and riposte tactics and differing footwork combinations. You should also try timing variation drills.
As always, anytime you're practicing, make sure you take plenty of breaks and don't overdo it. You dirty rat, you killed my brother, you dirty rat. Seriously, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? There can be only one! Sorry. That's good. Anytime you're practicing with yourself.
No, it didn't.
Practicing with yourself. Oh, okay. Trying to upstage me, are you?